Hey guys, Dawn from the Geek Door here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Ironheart Season 1, Episode 4, titled Bad Magic. When Parker suspects Riri of wrongdoing, she knows she has to figure out the source of his power. Now, it's been a week since I started this show, because I only record the days that I upload. Really bad system, should fix that, but uh anyway, since then, people have had more chance to post spoilers. People was posting spoilers the day that it came out. In that a certain someone was featured in a lot of reaction thumbnails. Why? It's not even 24 hours since it came out. Why are you posting such a big reveal in the thumbnail? So yeah, turns out that the rumors from several years ago are correct. I don't know how it gets to that point, but yeah, turns out the rumors from several years ago was correct. Now, I'm still not going to spoil it, just in case there are people who are watching along with me. But yeah. Anyway, let's get this episode started in three, two, one, go. I forgot to check if I have my subtitles on. Good. I still feel bad for Zeke. And yet he still couldn't avoid clipping her armor. The framing of this previously on is very interesting, where each scene does lead into each other, but they're all completely different. It's like continuous conversations in that. Yet they're all just completely different scenes. Also, that was surprisingly long for a previously on. You know, I've seen a lot of people say that Hood in this is a sort of Robin Hood, like they're stealing from all the rich and wealthy, but instead of giving it to the poor, they're giving it to themselves. And he's got a cousin named John, as in Lil John. So if the main guy that he's targeting is named Richard or something, then I'm not going to be surprised, but also I'm going to be saying you could have done better. Hmm. Fireplace that serves two rooms. That's interesting design. Really, you're doing this without any gloves on? Yeah, my dad likes that scotch. They know you're here now. Except now you're not. Who wants to start? Hmm. I would not have expected opera for. Is that blood sipping Aussie? I gotta look that up. Yes. Zoe Tarakas is an Australian actor. I picked it up. I think this might have been the first time we've heard them speak. No, we have. Or was it just the sister speaking about the underground fighting club? But the way, but the way they said mate in the first sentence, and then when they were talking about loving the opera, I picked it up. Except it still does come from somewhere. It could just because it's being funneled likely interdimensionally. There are a lot of parents who are like that. Hmm. Technically, Rampage wasn't the co. Not yet, because she said they only met at the interview. Smooth. Hmm. Here's the difference. You let John die. John was gonna kill you. So, not even saying he'd done the same. She hung up on me. Yeah. No one cares about your flowers. Yeah. I'm surprised with Tony coming out about the being Iron Man. The truth hasn't come out about staying. That is not nice. Are you trying to tell me that he was underwater for 11 minutes? Mhm. But I feel like this might have been a wake up call for her. Then again, I would have felt the whole Wakanda Talakan thing might have been a wake up to not trust people as blindly. Then again, would you really call her having trusted Parker in that blindly? Nah. Never mind, it's not really comparable. Hmm. Isn't this exactly what happened with Rampage? And then Rampage wound up dead? Do the others know about Rampage being dead? Is he gonna bust Zeke out of jail? Your tech genius daughter starts putting up cameras around the house and hands you a watch that she tells you never to take off. Again, that your friend buys you an expensive gift, then hands you I'd like to think that if I was in either of those situations, I'd think something's up. They really stiffed me on the pearls this time. I only have a whole bunch of them left down the bottom. Hmm. How's your languages? A very nice way of putting things. Hmm. Not even under the blankets. I'm sorry, but hmm. Chamomile doesn't work with me. Kind of weird that Stan's coffee is next to Stanton's. I need to look that up. The Stantons, I'm assuming that means her last name's Stanton, so Selma Stanton. Hmm. Honestly, I'd love it's the secret little. Not interesting. Because Zelma has some brain maggots. So I have a comic where she goes to seek out Doctor Strange because she's got some magical ailment, which turns out to be brain maggots that he extracts from her to, and then she sort of gets. Yes, one that I'm not going to say. Well, there is bad magic. Hmm. It's really funny. A sort of TikTok sound. I don't actually know if it's a TikTok or that I heard not long before I started watching this episode. Apparently, it's from one of the Snapcube Sonic dub things. Um, huh. He doesn't need the hood up. I thought Parker needed the hood up to turn invisible, like the Ant-Man suits in this. Hmm. Get to reinvent yourself. And how are you going to get out of? How do you just have the ability to open the cell door? How are you getting past the retina scanner? Why is it just a key? Well, I really don't think that's gonna work. Hmm. The only way to destroy magic is magic. Possibly even older. Uh, well, that pearl went down hole. We're still in the air. I mean, if you'd have passed out, you have someone who can safely direct you. And now you're stuck at a junkyard with no one and no suit. Hmm. Go back to your cells, Zeke. You really don't want to be a part of this. Can Parker make other people invisible? Well, guess he knows his sister's there now. Have a major freakout? It wasn't a remote control thing. I am just a hologram. Disturbing. I didn't do it intentionally. Well, I mean, that's what she tried to do at the start. Great job, Nelly. Now your brother's unprotected, and you just lost your best friend, her best living friend. Oh, great. He's augmented himself. Are you really using a pizza cutter as a mirror? Ah, that's an issue. You're making an attack dog you can control. A major enhanced. What was the point of the sedation if. Oh god, his eyes were black. Again. Is that going to be the end? Hang on. Oh, that's what I just thought. Does he sing? Hey, I gotta double check that. Um, what was it called? Milano. Huh. Okay. Did not know that. Okay. He's That's like a official song from him. Did not know that. That really threw me for a loop. I am going to pause here and go look for that Doctor Strange comic that I was talking about earlier. Be back in a sec. Finally found it. It took a bit longer because there are multiple Doctor Strange ones. So it's The Way of the Weird. And I forgot that this was the story that she appeared in. So we just gotta skip to where she actually shows up. Um, shows up about this far in. That's her down there, Zama Stanton. And the reason she's going to Doctor Strange, as I said, is because she's got a magical ailment, and um, it's that is the mind maggots or brain maggots, whatever they are. So the thing with this story is, I don't think they're going to go into it because she's got the thingos under control herself. But her whole thing was she goes to Doctor Strange for a cure. He cures her by actually taking the melody into himself. And then he purges all of that into all of the magical illnesses that people come to him to fix. He purges that into, I forget who he sends it to, but it may even be Wong that he sends it to. But yeah, most of this story is them dealing with that exploding out and having to actually deal with the repercussions of everything. But the other thing that this story is this is the one that's hunting down Sorcerer Supremes. And I forgot those were the same story. But yeah. So Zelma Stanton, comic character, that's all I was really getting at. And then apparently she goes on to become Stranger's like assistant, gets magic herself and starts helping around the sanctum. So yeah, very different from her counterpart in this. I was surprised they brought her in, especially in something completely unrelated to Doctor Strange, but I guess it's not really surprising. Huh. I just realized. Huh. They may be setting up a magic user to replace Kid Loki. So they've been setting up the like Young Avengers champions for a while now. I say Young Avengers and champions because they've got people from both teams that they're seemingly just fusing into one. With like Kate, Kamala, Riri. Tommy, um, Billy, and what the original Young Avengers was Tommy, Billy, Iron Lad, um, Kate Bishop. I'm pretty sure Stature. That's another one. Um, Cassie Lang and Hulkling, obviously, and Kid Loki. Kid Loki was one of the main members of the Young Avengers. Obviously, that's Loki as a kid. But because they're not doing that, like, we haven't seen Kid Loki since the end of, well, towards the end of Loki season one, and he stayed in the void to deal with everything. We don't actually know what happened with him. So they could be taking the magic wielder of the original team and they're going to replace it with Zelma because now she and Riri know each other. Their mums are friends and that, so huh, that could be why they're introducing her. Like when they actually get the Young Avengers together, because I don't see that happening before um Doomsday or Secret Wars, they very well could just slot her into the team. Um, yeah, I am not sure how I feel about how quickly Zeke turned in this, but also he asked Riri for one thing to make sure that whatever it is she's doing, he stays out of it. And now, not only is he being taken down because of it, his name's being besmirched. People are saying he is like what his father actually was, while also lauding his father up as a person he never was, as the person that Zeke wanted to be. And he's also the only one who went down. And now you've got Parker, who says he's also been um, done over by Riri in the exact same mission, and he's offering you a way out of prison when Riri didn't have a way. So, yeah, I can sort of see it. I am not confident about the whole changing the admin to Parker Robbins. That seemed like something Slug was doing without Zeke's knowledge. So, that could be an issue, which is probably more of a failsafe than anything because Zeke, all in all, is a good person, at least from what we've seen so far. So if Riri's able to like appeal to his better side and that, then Parker could either use that as a kill switch or as a way to stop Zeke from being able to join up with Riri at the very least. But yeah, surprised at what turn this episode took. Like, yeah, Xavier was always going to be pissed at Riri for Natalie. I feel she could have done a better job at explaining how it just happened. Like, I was scanning my brainwave to try and recreate the Wakandan AI. I fell asleep. I woke up and it was Natalie. Shit happened while I was trying to delete her, and it just over time became less and less of a priority as she grew more and more. Like, but also we know Riri was not in the right headspace to be dealing with any confrontation at that point. And also, she explicitly told Natalie not to show herself to her brother. And then she went and showed herself to her brother. Like, his reaction's completely understandable, especially considering he's actually taken the time to grieve his sister, while Riri is showing over and over again that yes, she has stagnated since the death of them. She is not processing anything because she either distracts herself so much that nothing comes to the forefront, or she finds ways to skirt around it. She finds cheats for getting around it, which is all Natalie is. Like, she's slipping up and starting to see that as the real Natalie. And that's stopping her from being able to process. And whenever someone tries to get her to open up and actually talk about it, she shuts them down. And I can't entirely say I blame her. Like, she's not ready. I agree that everyone bringing it up at every possible moment, which Zeke and her mum have done multiple times since coming back, and it's only been a few days. I can see what she's getting at with them trying to force her to process it, but she's also not doing it herself. So sometimes you do need someone to push the extra bit. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. You got 2 episodes left, and I really don't know what to expect. But yeah, I know. Also, I will say I know that technically Mephisto is not the devil from the Bible, but you've got to admit the irony of me hearing that Snaptube audio of I don't even know what Sonic game it is, of the devil just talking to Shadow like a couple hours before I started recording this episode, where they allude to a dark being of immense power, immense ancientness, and Mephistopheles does have something. I really don't want to get into Mephistopheles. Um, demonic demon featured in German folklore. Oh yeah, originating as the chief devil in the Faust legend, and that's the whole Faustian deal, where making a deal with the devil of like trading your soul for something you want and getting swindled in a way because the devil never pays his dues right. And yes, I did have watched the breakdown for the first 3 episodes, so I do know about the Faust posters in the background. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.